A friend shared this with me, and I decided to share my opinion with you. So, what's
It's just
me?
now that I've come into a place where I feel like an adult. For a very long time, even in my 30s, even at the point where I was already having kids, there's still that thing within you that feels like when you go before authority, that feels like you're a child, you're someone answering to an elder or authority. I don't know how to explain this feeling, but it's a feeling that I've had for a very long time. And at some point, I was like, I'm a mom already. Like, why am I still having this feeling? You want to go to school to see the head teacher, the principal. And all of a sudden, just the fact that you're going to see a principal brings me internally to that place where it feels like I'm answering to an elder, I'm answering to someone old, and then I revert to, okay, what can you? So you're not even coming from a place of assertiveness, like, oh, okay, thank you very much. How does this? You're not talking like an equal or an adult. You revert unconsciously to seniority. I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's something from our culture. Maybe the fact that our culture we're required to be so
I
respectful.
don't think it's about culture. Like she said, she has a feeling of inferiority, give or take, that she always sees herself as a subordinate. I'm sure that this is not unique to her. One thing that you need to understand is that thoughts, if you think of something and you do it, whether what you thought is good or bad, as far as you have decided in your mind that you are going to do something, it takes time for your emotions to catch up. For example, you break up with your boyfriend. Mentally, you have decided that this is the best action. But it takes your emotions some time to catch up. That's why even after breaking up, you might be feeling to reconnect with the person, or the person might be feeling to reconnect with you. It's not easy. It takes time for you to recover. It is because your emotions are just catching up. But mentally, the thoughts, but the factors which you decided to come to the conclusion that you break up has taken place, and then the breakup has happened. But emotionally, emotions are slower, so they take time to catch up. Depending on your level of competence, that process need not take so much time. Now, a lot of these videos that I'll be talking about are all connected, and there's one underlying factor: conditioning. Regardless of society's impact or inputs, or your family's inputs, you always remain an individual and a part of a collective. On the level of that individuality, you have the freedom and total control. However, it is up to you to take charge or not. For every part of your life that you take control and determine, so it shall be true, and it will happen the way you want it. For every part or aspect that you do not take into your hand and determine, it will remain true too, and it will happen like that. You are conscious about it, you are not conscious about it, all these have impact and implication. In this case in question, where you always feel like you should listen, you should be led, it is not given to you. You gave it to yourself. You adopted it. Say society say that is how it should be. Well, it's left for you to agree or not agree. And for whether you agree or you don't agree, there will be consequences. And in this case, you see the consequences that you always try to take the back step. You do not try to assert. Well, even if you wanted to assert yourself, the question is how and why. You have to qualify that assertion, because if you do not qualify it, you might make a mistake that you will still regret and pay, and then probably go back to the second place because you thought that you could assert yourself and you finally did, and then there were repercussions that you didn't account for. So beyond the idea of, hey, you should speak up, hey, I shouldn't be second place, I should be first place in a discussion, I should be able to speak up or do one or two things. What is most important is you should be able to be an independent mind and speak honestly too. Because if you are not an individual, it's not so much about independence or collective idea. But if you try to speak to things that you are not competent to speak about, then there will be repercussions. Take this case, for example, a real life experience. When I used to take public transport to travel from, let's say, Oka to Onitsha, generally you come to the bus stand, you board a bus. So normally, if you observe, you see that the people that always stay in front and on the side of the door, because in front, two persons can sit down. You can either sit by the door or sit in between the driver and the other passenger. So usually it is small, it's kids or children and then women that stay in between the driver and the other passenger, while it is usually a grown and mature adult that stays on that side that is close to the door. From my own observation, that's what I always see. So, but me in particular, whenever I take the bus, I like to take that seat because it's most comfortable. It gives you the best view of the whole travel experience. So, and what I always do is that when I come, if you come, you can enter the loading bus or you wait to enter the next bus. So to enter the loading bus, it gets you where you are going faster because you don't need to wait. But if you are so particular about where you want to stay, you can always wait and enter the next bus, spend more time, and then get exactly the seats that you want. So it so happened that I came and the bus that was loading, the seat was empty. So I entered and sat there. One adult came, my senior, of course, and an elder, and told me that I should shift for him to, because the other seat in between my seat and the driver's seat was empty. So the adult asked me, or the elder asked me to shift for him to sit down. I told him that no, this is where I'll sit. That he's welcome to take the next seat between me and the driver. So if he wants, I'll open the door for him to come into that seat. And this elder was furious. That don't I know he's an elder? That how can I tell him to go inside and I sit there? This is a pure example of trying to assert yourself when you are not clear. So maybe this elder has always seen that that's how it is. The adult must stay there. In the community, the elder must do what he wants. And then he came and met me now that don't believe same. So if the lady I shared was this elder in question, you see that she'll be trying to assert herself and she'll get a very terrible experience because that elder's experience was terrible. I insisted that he's misplaced what he's saying. That how can I come and take a seat and he's asking me to shift just because I'm a younger person? That it doesn't happen anywhere. In this context of this travel, you first come, first serve. So I've come first, I've taken my seat. He should go look for some other seat. There is no crime, there is no miracle he will compel me to move from that seat. And that was the situation that prevailed. I insisted on my seat and he angrily went to take another seat. Classical safe case of asserting yourself while you have not understood the fundamentals of fairness, equity, and justice. Because most times when people try to assert themselves, they always try to bring in tradition, culture, religion, and any other kind of weird idea to make things that are not true, that are not fair and just, to be true. And this is classical, the case of the woman in the Nigerian society or in the African society or worldwide. Because most times men try to claim rights and use this how we have always done it, this how we continue to do it, use all kind of weird ideas to make something that is not justiciable to be justifiable. So my dear, it is very important you are honest with yourself. It is very important you know from which background you are speaking. Are you speaking from the place of self-interest? Are you speaking from a place of clear vision and perception of the realities in which you are existing or the context of the discussion? It is always very important to understand how honest you are and how clear you are on the issue or topic of discussion before you make a comment. Because if you are not, you may likely find yourself being attacked or educated otherwise. Thank you.